Okay, so now that we've sorted things out with this little problem that we had next to our vineyard, which technically was that part of the Ravello or Ravello vineyard, perhaps? But if we're looking at specifically the quests here, there's not too much left for us to do for the side quests, other than things related to the Gwent tournament, because that's what, this one here, and also this one here. So 40% of our, actually, we should probably just be excluding Free Spirit from that list altogether. So 50%, 50 of our existing quests are tied to Gwent at this point. So for that reason, it might make sense for us to face another person at Gwent here, and then, I mean, Knight for Hire, this one is quite literally all over the place. Okay, there's at least one that's sort of just out there to be discovered that we have not yet encountered. Okay. So we may just have some generic exploration to do as well, because we've done a fair bit of exploration down in this area here. Sorry, that was way too fast. But this area over here, we have done a fair bit of exploration in. And this area down here, we've done a good bit of exploration in. However, we have some question marks all the way up to the northwest. We could certainly start to address some of the Knight-related stuff over there, and potentially encounter something new altogether. Then, over far to the east, and I guess northeast, technically, we have not really been at all. We went over here briefly when we were doing the stuff for the Slizzard quest, but I think we encountered this bandit camp, but didn't actually see it through because it's fairly high level. And then everything north of that is entirely new to us. So I would think that if there are things that are just totally unknown to us right now, chances are there's a fair bit of that in this area, because I think this is the largest unexplored section for us at the moment. So why don't we just do a little bit of Gwent here, because I think hold on. Mark fast travel spot on our map, and I think the closest one might even be Corvo Bianco. But yeah, I think that we should try to split up our remaining Gwent stuff, so that we're not going with our 2 remaining Gwent people and then going straight into the tournament from there, because that would be a whole lot of Gwent. So let's just spread it out a little bit, you know? And I think this is probably the best way of doing that. Just knock one of these off now. And this is Corvo Bianco, is it not? There we go. We could nab some of those plants right here to help us make the mutagens. That might not be a bad idea. Okay. Other than that, I think the other stuff is fairly simple. Like, we don't really need the color-specific herbs, because we've been stockpiling those for a long time. We cannot make it out of there. But as for the... I suppose while we're here, we might as well... oh no, we did rest recently. Okay, so we do have all our buffs up. So that's not a problem. So yeah, let's use the fast travel spot in that case. And, oh, we don't have the Gwent stuff active. We have the Knight stuff active. Let's change that real quick, just so we know more specifically where we're looking to go. I think they're both in the city. Did I actually click on this, or did I click on the map on our menu? So yeah, it's either this one over here, or it's... the other? Oh, at the Tourney Grounds. Right. What if we go for the one at the Tourney Grounds here? Let's do that. Okay. So, it is, in fact, apparently this bard? No. This person. The barber.
Welcome, Sir Geralt. I've heard tell of your accomplishments.
Oh, well, I mean, it's nothing really. Oh, interesting that we just go straight into this before we even ask, or before we even confirm if we are interested in this, because we don't actually need much of a haircut or to mess with our beard. We're mostly just here to play Gwent, to tell you the truth. Sorry, buddy. Does that mean we're just gonna play Gwent without a shirt on, that towel around her neck? Okay, that might be the weirdest one we've ever seen. The whole image before we actually get into the Gwent match. Okay, so we have been playing a lot of Skellige as of late, and I think, given how we have the Gwent tournament coming up soon, we're probably going to be playing a lot more Skellige soon. So maybe we just take this as a bit of an opportunity to deviate from that a bit, because this might be one of our last chances to do that. In which case, I don't recall which deck it has been the longest since we last played. I feel like it's been a while since we did Scoia'tael, but that is purely just a hunch. So maybe we go for that, and let's just double check, see if there's anything new that we could use to add. Because, like I said, it's been a while, so there's a chance. Though, of course, most of the cards we've been picking up recently have been Skellige-specific cards. So yeah, I don't think there's anything new here for us to add. And this leader ability, what do we have? Doubling the range row. What are our alternatives? Destroy your enemy's strongest close combat unit or units. I kind of like this. It's basically a dragon. I like that it's specifically enemies. There's no risk of this backfiring on us, so we can be however aggressive we want to be with it. Yeah. I think we go... Let's try this. I'm not sure we ever tried it before, so let's give it a shot. Alright, we get to choose if we go first. No, we should let them start. And we got double decoy, and they are Skellige. Okay. So Skellige does not have much in the way of spies, because there's going to be the Mysterious Elf, but that's about it. And Mysterious Elf is a hero, as you can see here, so that means we can't really steal it. So I'm not sure if we're going to get all that much value out of those decoys. We have a ton of Contour Dims. This is not what you want to see, so I'm thinking we probably take this opportunity to get rid of both of these Contour Dim Darknesses, because that's a pretty big red flag there. In terms of what we're going to end up using those decoys for, well, we'll find some purpose eventually. So I think we dump these. That works. And then we got Commander's Horn, which we can probably make that work. Okay. So at the moment, that's a fairly weak card, but of course, if they get a Martyrdom, then it will become much stronger. How would we like to react to that? So we do have some musters, and therefore we want to play those relatively early. That means we want to wait on Mysterious Elf. Obviously, Yennefer doesn't have anything to bring back from our graveyard at the moment, so that's not a big move. What are we expecting to do with Olgierd? Probably melee row once we get these musters out there, and then Dragon is just going to be a matter of waiting for a good time to use it based on whenever they have a lot of strength out there. So we don't have many great options here, other than I'd say maybe the cow is a good place to start. Okay, so setting up for what would be a pretty big Martyrdom, and so it is certainly, I mean, well, if we had, we don't have a Scorch, we only have specifically the ability to remove cards in the melee row, which stinks, because this would be either right now, or even waiting for them to convert those into the actual Vild Carls or young Vild Carls would be a very nice opportunity to get a Scorch off, but not at the moment. It doesn't quite work here. So for that reason, I think we more or less have to go for one of our musters, and perhaps we go with you, because we have the Olgierd synergies in the melee row, so we'd like to make sure that those guys don't get scorched, because we can bring back one of them with our medic, but not multiple. But we could use the dragon 3 times, that is true. That's gotta be our best way to use those decoys. I mean, assuming they actually play cards in the melee row, which this is exactly what we want to use it for. Okay. Lovely. Great card, yes. However, there is absolutely a downside to playing Ceres. A downside that we are now going to expose. So, actually, interesting question here. What is our preference between using the dragon versus using our leader ability? I think we prefer the dragon, because that we can replay with the decoys, and we can play it in a future round with Yennefer. So that is much more replayability, whereas once we use our leader ability, it's gone. So I think we go for this now in that case. So there's round 1 of dragon, and it worked quite well this time. It's gonna be hard to top that. I mean, you can bring back one of those cards we just destroyed, but not all of them. Okay, so we could immediately decoy away the dragon and use that to destroy this shield maiden. Yes. However, I am somewhat interested in seeing if they happen to have another medic and a way to get another shield maiden back, because in that case, we can do much better. And not to mention, at the moment, we have 21, they have 25. So if we were to just basically say they pass right now, if we were to take away the dragon and then replay it, we would remove that 4. So they'd be at 21, we'd be at 21, we'd still be tied. So it doesn't really help us much, although, oh, look at this. There are 3 cards? They must have played many of, perhaps even all of those shield maidens from their hand. So, wow. I did not catch that at first, but that is significant. Absolutely. We could even Olgierd in the range row, actually, given how many cards we have in there. We've got the Gaunter Muster puts all these guys in the range row. So maybe we do decoy the dragon, and then depending on how they respond, we'll adapt accordingly, because, yeah, the dragon by itself is not going to be enough to pass them with 1 card. So if they pass right now, then we would probably play something else instead. Okay, they're going Dandelion. Interesting. That, of course, makes this bigger. And, of course, means that now the dragon is more significant. Yes, I mean, it was still... in this case, actually, they'd still be in the lead if we used it. But, I think... Let's see. Olgierd is safe from a Scorch right now, so I think that means why not throw him in the range row for the time being? And that should be enough that if they pass next turn, playing the dragon will be enough to take them out. And they only have 2 cards remaining at this point, so yeah, they pretty much have to do this. So at this point, we can dragon, and that should be enough. And, because we'll get up to 31 and we'll remove 8 strength from their side. We can replay the dragon in round 2 using Yennefer. And I think we definitely will want to try to go for the round 2 win, because they're Skellige, so they have a pretty big advantage in round 3. So we have 3 card advantage, which is pretty insane. Not to mention we also have the Bovine Defense Force here, which is basically another card on top of that. So we go first. And I think we play our muster units here, because they can kind of hide behind the Bovine Defense Force. And what are their 2 cards? Because they've already played Ceres. It is the dragon, but that is part of the reason why getting the Bovine Defense Force there, I mean, it did exactly what it was supposed to, right? It defended against these guys. And so, I mean, unfortunately, they don't have enough strength in that melee row for us to bring back the dragon and destroy that card. So part of me feels like, I mean, I would like to save Yennefer for that purpose, but now we've played all of our muster cards, so it is now good to go with regards to the Mysterious Elf. That's fine. That buys us some time, and oh man, you got some good ones. Okay, their last card is not in the melee row, so that means we've got this one. And this is the Siege Scorch. But, well, you don't have 10 strength in the Siege row either. So, at this point, basically just play all of our cards and they can't catch us, because we're already in the lead. So, you know, just have some fun with it. Let's use Yennefer. I mean, we could even just BM them and use the cow rather than the dragon, because we could, you know, we don't need the other ones. But, sure, we'll take the dragon. Oh, okay. They pass. I didn't even realize they hadn't passed before. I suppose they still could have used their lead ability if they really wanted to. But it would hurt them in round 3 if there ever was a round 3. Obviously, there won't be a round 3, but now we just proceed to throw out all these cards. And if there were any reason for the decoy to be relevant, then, you know, we would do it. Actually, won't even let us use leader ability here because, well, like we were saying, they don't have 10 strength in the melee row. So, well, huzzah! Doesn't do anything, but there you have it. Pretty decisive 2-0 victory there. Who needs round 3 anyway, right? She was watching the entire thing. She's very enthused. We got Skellige Storm. We did already have that. I think we even had 2 other copies of it. So that's our 3rd copy in that case. But not really a card that I think we're going to end up adding to our deck at any point in time. So that means we are done with the second to last of the Gwent matches before the tournament. I don't think there's anything else for us to do around the tournament grounds. We were around here a little bit before and made a point of looting stuff and what have you. I mean, there is apparently this. She's actually following us. Did you see that? She legitimately followed us. Oh, we didn't want that. Let's actually drop it. But, there you go, good fan. Take those crossbow bolts. Like, she actually walked over from where we were at the bar. Look at this. She's legitimately following us. Apparently this is a thing, because she's, no matter which direction we go in, she's actually following us.
Long live the champion.
That's kind of insane. She just really, really likes us, but also, you know, like, personal space, please. Let's get out of here. Run away, Garrett, while you still can. Whatever you do, don't go home. Don't let her follow you there. She'll stalk you. Go, well, somewhere far away. So, I mean, this is the other remaining Gwent person, but we're not going to play them right now, I don't think. Because I'm trying to split that up a little bit. So we could go up to the northwest here and check out some of these question marks. We even have question mark here at the windmill, which is where we fought our first boss of Blood and Wine. Maybe we do that real quick. So I'm curious what that is. It may, in fact, be our stand. I don't know, my tea's gone cold. So I'm wondering why. But, he says as he actually takes a cup of tea. This question mark. Oh, Lids, what are you talking about? Excuse me, you see, Stan is actually a reference to the Eminem song, Stan, in which there is a line by Dido, in which she references cold tea as she's staring out the window. Okay, it's an entrance of some variety. What's a Avengers contract, actually? Wow. Okay.
I'm going to disable my hands. Watch your stones.
Every time someone says that line, it just sounds so crazy, because it's like, what is your voice? It's like, I'm gonna save that. It's like, is that, it's not intelligible. That's supposed to be English? Okay, well, let's not chat with you. So...
Hey, Tony Champion. The bells must give you one hefty reduction.
Where is the person we need to chat with? Probably this guy?
Wet. It is positively yeasty.
Pardon me. Perhaps you could help me. You seem a strapping lad.
What's the problem?
I acquired this old storehouse at auction. As it turns out, it stinks like an Ophiri larder. and is loud as a Novigrad brothel.
Oh.
Botch it all. I invested my life savings. Now I fear to go inside. Do help me, Witcher.
Alright. But let's
Could
talk
look
price.
into it, maybe, long as you have the means to pay me.
Okay, so this one is right by the area where we first entered Tucson, so I feel like this might be a relatively low-level one, and the price is on the lower end, potentially, so that may be further evidence of that.
No, I fear not. That is not an expense I can accommodate.
Yeah, that was a pretty aggressive price that I went for, though. So he did the annoyance bar filled very quickly, so that would suggest that we are not very close. Let's go a fair bit lower here. Maybe even 180 might be fine.
Mercy,
No?
man. The store itself has already cost me a fortune. Drop your fee a bit more, please.
Okay. So maybe then we go to like 170?
Fine, so
There
be
we go.
it. We've a deal.
So I'm interested to see what level this is.
All right, I'll take a look inside your storehouse.
Alright, I'll look inside your storehouse. So what level is this one? Yeah, this one's on the lower end, 37. That makes some sense, I think.
Witcher or not, it's still to bust your bum.
Okay, let's save and then head in. Whoa. Yeah, that's loud. You're not wrong about that. Sounds like a pigsty. What is that?
Stinks of carrion. Necrophages.
Ghouls? Really? Ghouls that loud? I don't remember that. Apparently. Just ghouls? Are we talking owl ghouls as well? We shall see. Oh, yes, owl ghouls too. Gotcha. Okay.
Come on.
So, one of you with that. In theory, that should pass the Axie, which is actually the go-to sign for the owl ghouls. So that would be really convenient if that were to happen, although it didn't there. Really? I did not know we were in the storehouse. Thank you. Thank you for telling me this. Okay. Now it's just you. And the Axie did get passed over to you that time, at least.
Reeks in here.
Oh, well. See, it sounded like a bunch of pigs, and there you have it. There were, in fact, a bunch of pigs. Yeah, I think that's it. Not actually a note with writing on it. Basically just functionally a piece of paper.
Reeks in here.
Ew. Well, that's actually not very good. I think there was one more section where there were some enemies. So we aren't done in here just yet. I think it was up over there to the left, but anything in this little alcove? I mean, you'd think there'd be something there, but apparently not. Don't think we took that. And not so good stuff. Water? We didn't sign up for this. Then again, I mean, if there's loot in the water, that is a different story. Come on, girl. Come. Are you underwater? Now you are. He does not want to swim lower. Geralt does not want to swim lower. He is struggling right now. Oh, and we didn't even need to dive under to loot that. Hold on. Come on, Geralt. There we go. Was that so hard? And the last enemy is, in theory, up there, though I'm actually not entirely sure how we get there. Let's see what we can do here. Pop this. Here it is. Is it just you? think I see 2 red dots on the map. No, that's all. Anything else in this section? I don't think so. Yeah, this would have been the other way over here. Anything up on this elevated area? Oh. A little bit, actually. A whopping 5 florins. Mushrooms. And then wine. Okay. Now that's no good. That's also no good. That's also no good. Okay. I think we're done here. I think we're done here. Try burning the cow and the pig? Where'd you go? Okay. That. This. Is that the last of them? Just those 3? Yeah, I mean, there's another one here, but that's not one we could interact with. So I'm not sure that changes anything. Just those 3 over there? No, there were some up here as well, right? There was... No, that was just loot. I guess that was just loot as well. Not actually things that Geralt commented on being stinky. Yeah, it didn't seem to do anything, but it was an interesting idea, because, you know, we've seen that before where there have been locations where Geralt's like, well, if we don't do something, like, take Monster Nest, for example, the monsters are just going to come back. And, you know, the reason why the necrophages were there is because they could smell the meat.
And is the storehouse safe or not?
Should be.
Well, have you seen to my storehouse?
Storehouse was full of rotten meat. Attracted ghouls I had to get rid of.
Saint Lebioda's calloused heels. But is it safe now? Completely.
I mean, you should move out the corpses.
Though I'd advise you to clean the meat out quick.
Yeah.
Before other ghouls show up.
Of course. Yes, I shall put my men to it, toot sweet. Meanwhile, perhaps you need something? I've bigger stock just now, but come back in 2 days to see a full array. At a discount that will make you cross-eyed.
Okay. We could, out of curiosity, who'd you buy the storehouse from?
Was wondering, previous owners, what did they use the warehouse for? Why was it full of carrion?
It was Gottfried Nork's before it was mine. Yes, that Nork.
Yeah, imagine just randomly
Most
buying a
famed
cave.
charcutier. That is, until his saucisse à la moutarde poisoned half the court of her illustrious highness the Duchessa.
Take it he fell out of favor.
Favor's not the word. He was cast in prison, all his property confiscated and auctioned off.
Yeah.
Show me what you're peddling.
Okay, so he said he doesn't have much now, but that later on he'll have more. Okay, this is not very interesting at the moment. If we happen to have junk we can sell to you, then maybe we will, but outside of that, there's not much business we have dealing with you. Did accidentally pick up one of the rotten meats, so, sure. Sell the rabbit pelts, because why not? I guess we have a little bit of junk. Those are actually surprisingly valuable. Knives? Okay. You really want them that badly? Sure. And the rest are mostly our valuables. We can sell you a copper mug, I suppose. And the other relatively heavy pieces of junk here. Yeah, you do pay a decent price for junk. That you do. I'll give you that. I will give you that. There is something to be said for that. Deliberately gonna not sell them the things that can break down into decent things, though. We want our meteorite, if we can get it. Now, we have enough junk here that this was somewhat significant. You paid a bunch for rope ladders, so, I mean, joke's on you, man. That's on you, not us. Yeah, look at this. This guy's paying a decent sum for our junk. 7 apiece for parchment, was that? There we go. That should just about do it. Frees us of a bit of weight, so that's nice, and made more money off of it than I expected us to, so sure.
So long.
Okay. So I believe that means that that vendor contract is done, unless it's going to tell us to come back here in a few days to chat with this guy. It may. No, it should be done now. Okay. So at this stage, that means that at least for side quests, there is not much besides Gwent-related things, and heading over mostly into this northwestern corner for the night-related stuffs. So I think it may make sense to do some of the night-related stuff, because there's a pretty decent chunk of that we've yet to do. How many of them have we done? We've only done about half. So that's definitely something that, I mean, we don't have to do them all now by any means. But sort of similar to the Gwent, probably does make sense for us to break it up a little bit. So let's head back a little bit over to this fast travel spot, and then we'll use that to get further northwest. And I remember, yeah, last time we were here, we did see that Goliath's body is still here.
Quick as a flash. Those girls can't
As it turns out, oh! As it turns out. Perhaps a good thing, as well. Because we left some crowns there, apparently. Anyways. Back to the fast travel spot. And let us, I think, I mean, we could go to the vineyard and then start with this question mark and start heading further west from there. This one's a little bit more right in the middle of everything, but then you kind of get in a situation where you're going to one and then you have to go in reverse order, unless we just leave that for a future occasion. So I think it might actually be better to fast travel here first. We could also go further to the east. Yeah, that is just largely unexplored at this stage. I was thinking, we look at the, let's just take a second to look at the Knights for Hire quests, or sub-quests, if you will. Yeah, so there are 2 of them up here. Actually, one, oh no, that's the Camerlengo himself. Okay, I was gonna say, there's one right in the middle of the city? No, surely not. Yeah, the other ones are further to the east. In fact, there are more of them further to the east. We definitely do want to make a point of going over here at some point. I suppose we don't have anything that's super high on our to-do list that would take precedent over that. So we could make a point of going for some of this stuff in the more easterly direction now. And if we are to do that, then where would we start? I kind of want to get this question mark dealt with, because I thought this was one that we heard some people talking about. We saw it, but we didn't want to do it just yet. And so, especially since it's in a location that we've already been to, so it just feels weird. Being like, yeah, we've been there, but there's a question mark that we haven't addressed yet. So I kind of want to start there, and then, you know, if we go further east from there, we could fast travel if we wanted to, like, the Fort Usser ruins might be best. Or we could just walk it out from there and maybe head north, maybe head further east over there. I think we can see what we're feeling like doing at the time. That's one that's connected to a contract? Okay. Yeah, it was tied to something. It's a Witcher contract? Is that why we were waiting for it? The two foe monsters, is that it? Or is it the other one? That does look like it. Okay. In that case, maybe we do save that one, because that's a pretty high level Witcher contract. Yeah, that's level 48. That might be our highest level quest we have active right now. It is. So, okay. In that case, let's save that. Let's go back to just having this being our active quest. So yeah, in that case, why don't we fast travel further east? Let's actually make sure that we're doing the fast travel, not looking at our map. So, probably is best to go here, right? And what alternative would we have? Otherwise, it's Flow Vibe. There's not really a great... Or we're just going straight east from here. I mean, maybe we even do that. Maybe we just don't even fast travel at all, because I don't think we've been east of here. I mean, even though there's no question marks here, I don't think we've tried exploring this area at all. So, let's give that a shot. Okay. So yeah, we'll definitely head over there at some point. It's just a matter of when. So if we're looking to go east, that would mean this direction. And at least,
That's it, Roach.
based on what we were seeing in our map there isn't really any specific thing that we're looking for here. So let's just keep our eyes peeled and see if we happen to run into anything for now. Something unexpected. But otherwise, I mean, right now I'm going a little bit more north than east, but that's partially because there's this spot as well that we haven't seen. Not really expecting anything up here. Although, there is a bit of a path. It does make me wonder where said path leads. What is this? That was an abandoned site. Okay. Suppose we've been over there. Oh, yes, we have been here. I remember that. I remember that abandoned wagon. Okay. So we've definitely been there. Let's just head further east in that case. Anything at this little dock area? Doesn't look like it. Looks like that is just a boat and not much else. Okay, and then we've got this little hut here, this overhang. Maybe we'll make a point of stopping over there. And this looks like another vineyard. So, maybe not one that we've heard much of anything about. Because like we were saying, we really haven't spent any time here.
Not so fast, Roach.
There's this spot, and then there was a little house, or a little building further over there. Yeah. Why don't we head over to this, and then we'll definitely poke our head in this, what I imagine is basically the center of this vineyard. The hub. Looks like it's more or less where that overhang is. DUNN Hillside. Oh. Tiki Moors. Okay. It's a vineyard infestation. Seems like it. Okay. So, it's a Yurden or is it Axie that we're technically supposed to use against them? I don't recall. But Axie is now our strongest sign. Are there any warriors? Or just workers? If it's just workers, that's really no problem. We're not done yet, which leads me to believe that there might still be a bigger one. Or maybe there's just a nest that we need to destroy. Might... Whoa.
Gotta destroy it if they're to disappear for good.
Oh no, this is destroy it with an explosive, like the monster's nest. Not like the just piles of Kikimora eggs we've seen in some cave systems. Okay. Mission complete. We're gonna have someone come running over to us going, "Thank you, Witcher. Thank you." Maybe? Anybody? Ooh, I mean, maybe that was gonna be the guy, but, not so living anymore. Ah, there we go.
Thank you for the rescue. You're one fine fellow, Witcher.
No problem.